Hi everyone, it's Terry sharing another process video for Bramble Fox. This time I'm using the February Fox box. So started off with this aqua coloured patterned paper. It's an older one from my stash, and I've trimmed down the white cardstock and I just distressed the edges to create the base of my layout. And I'm going to use that white heart cardstock piece that you can see to the left hand side as a bit of a mask. So I've just placed it on my layout. I've pulled out loads of different stamp sets and some distress inks and oxides in various different colours. So I've gone for kind of pinks and aquas to fit in with the colour scheme of those perspectives from the Fox box this month. So basically what I'm doing is I'm just randomly stamping different coloured stamps all round that heart that I've used, I've put in the centre, so I'm using it basically as a mask. So they don't always stamp perfectly. I don't want it to be bold. It's going to be kind of a background feature to everything else. So I'm just using that speckled egg, that distress oxide. I think I've got spun sugar and then worn lipstick distress ink, and I want to say broken china as well. So I'm just using various different ones. Some are kind of background stamps, some are more of a focal piece like a big heart or a phrase. So I'm just using it to kind of stamp round, and then once I've stamped, you'll see I'll lift that mask off and it'll create kind of a void in the heart shape that I want. So yeah, different sizes and different colours all round that. So these are just some kind of coffee rings, so just kind of something a bit of a different shape. So I'm using lots of different stamp sets and lots of different sizes of things as well. And you just kind of keep going until you decide you think you've got enough. You can lift it up a little bit like I did earlier just to see what it's looking like. And there you have it. So I've pulled off that mask and I'm just spritzing it with water because it's distress. It'll kind of make some of the ink run a little bit, so it just softens the pattern a bit. So I've also just stitched round the edge of those stamped images in a rough kind of couple. I've gone round twice in two different colours to create a kind of a heart shape, and I'm just adding some splats of the same colours of oxide and distress inks. It just adds a little bit more to that area. Ideally it'd be better to do this when you've got the mask on, and then you don't get any splats in that kind of white outline. That kind of area that I've just pointed out to the bottom right hand side of the heart I'm not overly keen on it, so that's why I'm going to cover it up with my photo. It's just kind of mixed a little bit too much, the colours. I'm adding these two perspectives because these are kind of the main bits that I wanted to get on, and then I'll start adding more pieces and map my photo onto other patterned papers and things. But I wanted to get those in place, get them dry, and then I can start working on the layout a bit more. So I'm using lots of scraps that are in my scraps pile, trying to get some stash down so I've got a good excuse to buy some more. So I really like this cute paper with the little chocolate covered strawberries on, and you'll see that makes an appearance a bit later. So I'm just cutting round roughly that kind of cluster of patterned papers and then distressing all the edges because I want to create like a bit of a big stack of mats that are going to sit behind my photos to create all different like interesting patterns. I'm going to stick them down at an angle so they're not all going to be straight and flush, and I've stuck them in the middle so that they're not like really heavily stuck down, so that there's some lift and it just gives a bit of texture to the page. So I've pulled out these two perspectives and that you can tie them onto the page or have them dangling, or you can use them as with an off the page project. And I deciding where I want to put them, but I have put that little cute typewriter that says "with love" down the bottom right hand corner of my photo. So I'm gonna have these two pieces kind of looking like they're hanging off the heart. So I'm adding some little baker's twine bows to them, and then I'll stick them just at the top where the bow is, so they do kind of hang off the stitched area. So now I've pulled out this strawberry patterned paper again. I'm going to fussy cut out some of those to use as embellishment on this page. I really like how the colours work with all the different bits of the page. And it seems it's kind of a lovey-dovey kind of page. I thought it'd work quite well. This is a really old thicker set as well that I've pulled out in kind of a dark pink glitter. So I'm just going to pull the word love out from it, so that my title, it says "Love Captured." So now I'm deciding where I'm going to put these little strawberries. So I'm going to tuck them under my photo a little bit there, and then I'm going to have them kind of scattered around the heart shape. So a little bit like I did with the stamps. I'm just going to have some of these strawberries scattered around, and then I'm also going to add some sequins and some bits and pieces like that, and some glitter. So I've specifically pulled out some gems from a sequin set that I'd got, and also a few pink heart perspectives to use as well. So I'm overlapping these with the strawberries that are already there to create kind of little clusters, because those dangling perspectives are quite big, so I wanted a few other bigger areas that just, so they didn't look quite so odd being there hanging on their own, so to speak. So I pulled out these sequins, and I'm just going to use the kind of the light pink colours, and I'm just adding some glue, and I'm just going to dot them around the heart shape, so that stamping really is just kind of a background effect with all the embellishment on top. So all I do now is I add some more sequins, I add some Nuvo drops in amongst all the pieces, and also some Stickles glitter, and I just add a small bit of journaling under my photo where I've left a bit of a gap. This is my completed layout done. Thank you for joining me today on YouTube. All links are in the description to the Bramble Fox Facebook group, and where you can find other places of inspiration from the DT. And again, thanks for joining me. Any questions, just leave a comment. Thanks.